Jesse Butler, a quality reporter at Bloomberg News.
Yeah, that sidewalk story was one that really stood out for me. It almost sounds, it sounds like you'd be exchanging something much more nefarious, but no, it's an at-home COVID test. This restaurant worker who I mentioned in the story, she had been exposed to COVID, and the acquaintance that she bought them from actually got the test for free through his job. So people are taking advantage if they have them, if they've been stockpiling them, to turn around and resell them. And because the desperation is so high, people feel like they have to pay them. I think when the math shook out, it was something like $23 for each individual test that she bought that day.
What is the roundabout retail price of what they were? Like the Buy Now kits, those are some of the popular ones. If I remember correctly, it was about $25 for 2 tests in a box. Is that what it was?
Exactly, and that's about how much you would pay at some large retail chain. But it's actually really bad timing right now because there was a deal with some big retailers like Walmart and Kroger where they were selling the tests at lower prices. It was a deal that had been reached with the Biden administration, and that just expired. So right as we're having this new variant come in, a bunch of people are coming back from New Year's, Christmas, all that stuff. The prices on those are going up. You'd be able to get them before at like $14 on Walmart shelves, and now it's going to be about $20.
Yeah, testing in the country has always been a tough thing. I mean, anybody that was driving around over the holiday breaks, you undoubtedly saw long lines on street corners sometimes, and you were saying, what's going on? What's this line? You drive up, it's a COVID testing site, and obviously people are trying to get back to school, to work. They need their results quicker, so they're trying to turn to these rapid tests. And, to the point of what we're talking about, they're just so hard to find. You had another story where there was a group of restaurant workers that needed to get them. They paid $180 for 4 test kits.
Exactly. And there was another person that I chatted with who's a musician based in New York, and she had been using rapid tests a lot with other fellow musicians. She's recording an album now, so when they would go into studio, they would just use them, and she was saying they were using them like candy. And she saw no reason to start stockpiling them, but something that was available so freely a month ago doesn't look the same way now. And I think she paid $37 for a test that typically retails at $24 at like Walgreens.
Now, where do we stand with getting reimbursed for some of these tests? I believe the Biden administration said that they would make reimbursements available through private health insurers and all that. Where do we stand on that part?
So more information on that will be released. Biden said this week that people should be able to be reimbursed through private insurance later this month. But anyone that has called their insurance company ever knows that nothing is necessarily simple when you're trying to get money back. And also, if you've taken a route like buying a home test from someone on a street corner or on an online Facebook group or something like that, it's not like you're necessarily going to have a receipt that you can turn around and send to your insurance company.
Yeah, I guess the Biden administration has said that they're trying to send 500 million free at-home tests to people, but those have not started arriving yet, so we still have to wait a little bit more time on that. And, it's just going to be an unpredictable market for the near future, at least. And it's in big contrast to what's happening to some other European countries where you note in your article, they're free, pretty easy to find.
Since I've sent out the article, a bunch of people have been messaging me on social media and whatnot saying that they're paying a fraction of the same prices for similar tests in European countries, and they're able to get them much more readily. And obviously, as people say, public health officials and public health experts, the more readily available they are, the more frequently they'll be used. That saves infections, and it ultimately benefits us all.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we're just kind of at the mercy of either retailers or, trying to basically adjust prices as they go, really, too. You made a note of a company, WeShield, who sells medical supplies and things like that, and depending on their stock, depending on how much they're being charged for the test, they have to adjust the prices and send those on, pass those along to the consumer, too.
Exactly. Finex test that we just talked about that sold at Walmart for $14, now $20. WeShield is selling for about $50, and that's just comes down to the supply-demand dynamics that we're seeing right now. There's a bunch of other similar type third-party retailers that are also having prices in that range. And, anyone that gets an ad on the side of their email or any website they're scrolling will see those prices around there too. And, that pressure really won't be released until there's more tests out there and on the market.
Well, hopefully we get our act together on that, and hopefully nobody has to buy tests on a street corner. So we'll keep monitoring all of this. Kelsey Butler, equality reporter at Bloomberg News, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Daily Dive Weekend Edition. You can catch a fresh episode of the podcast every morning, Monday through Friday on iHeartRadio. You can also follow us on social media at Daily Dive Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. Stay tuned for the Jesus Christ Show next. But first, into the newsroom. This is Kfi Am 640, more stimulating talk.
If you find a smart device that can't play KFI, maybe it's time to replace it.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The National Guard steps in. I'm Jane Yamamoto, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. At least 200 National Guard members have been deployed at 50 sites statewide following the rapid rise of COVID cases. In Southern California, record-breaking numbers of nearly 44,000 new cases in LA County alone Friday, prompting Governor Gavin Newsom to activate the National Guard to help with staffing and crowd control at COVID test sites. Healthcare experts are warning the country that if the rise in COVID cases and hospitalizations don't begin to stop soon, many could reach their breaking point as hospitals fill up this weekend. ABC's Doreen Shaw says kids are becoming sick with COVID-19 and need to be hospitalized.
And pediatric hospitalizations are at their highest point in the pandemic. More than 5,000 children are currently in the hospital with confirmed or suspected cases of COVID. The spike shuttering classrooms. In Philadelphia, 46 schools shifting to virtual learning.
And here in Los Angeles, the LA Unified School District is requiring all students and staff to be tested before resuming in-person learning. School is scheduled to start this Tuesday. The recent rise in COVID cases has impacted local universities. Cal State Fullerton and Cal State Northridge will return to remote learning to start their semester. Cal State LA and Cal State Long Beach already announced their similar plans. While UCLA and UC Irvine have already begun their winter quarters remotely, USC originally announced it would hold its first week of classes remotely, but it has now extended the remote learning period for a second week. And with the number of infections rising, Governor Gavin Newsom is proposing a $2.7 billion COVID-19 emergency response package to help bolster testing and vaccination efforts. The governor also signed an executive order yesterday to prevent people and stores from increasing costs of the test. The order also gives the California Department of Justice, Attorney General's Office, district attorneys, and other local law enforcement to help to take action against price gougers. Newsom is also asking lawmakers to pass a new law requiring companies to give workers more paid time off if they get sick. California had similar law last year that expired 4 months ago. And the man who fired shots near mourners at the Hollywood Walk of Fame is heading to court.
Arraignment scheduled for Wednesday at the LA Criminal Courts building for the ex-con accused of firing gunshots as a crowd gathered around the Hollywood Walk of Fame star of Mexican singer Vicente Fernandez. The LAPD arrested 35-year-old Joseph Michael Dietrich December 12th in the 6200 block of Hollywood Boulevard. Witnesses told reporters they heard half a dozen shots fired from an upper-story window of an apartment building across from Fernandez's star. No one was injured. The singer and actor nicknamed the King of Ranchero Music died that morning in Mexico at the age of 81. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
And Oscar-winning lyricist Marilyn Bergman has died. She wrote the words to many memorable motion picture songs like The Golden Word and Windmills on Your Mind. She also earned an Oscar for composing the musical score to the 1983 Barbara Streisand film Yentl. Bergman was 93 and died from respiratory failure. And now headed out to the 210 in Upland.
That's going to be on the eastbound side. It looks like a crash here is blocking the center lane. CHP coming to the scene. Through the Boyle Heights area on the 10 eastbound at Soto Street. Look out for a wreck here blocking the right lane. Traffic is backed up to the 5. And we have a wreck here in Rolling Heights, 60 westbound at Nogales. That's blocking the right shoulder. And some road work at Bellflower, 91 eastbound from Bellflower Boulevard to the 605. The 2 left lanes turned off until 9 a.m. KFI in the sky. Hope to get you there faster. I'm Jonathan Weiss.
Looking to sell your valuable coins, high-end jewelry, collectibles, or fine art? Dave has a word of caution.
Don't be fooled by the famous TV pawnbrokers. They don't pay anything.
Why listen to Dave?
I'm a coin dealer in San Diego.
Oh, so where does Dave go?
Tangible investment. I drive 130 miles round trip to Tangible. I go see Phil. I do it twice a week.
That's a lot of miles, and for good reason.
Coins, jewelry, diamonds, art, watches. Anything I've ever sold them, they pay me top dollar. They're super knowledgeable. I've been dealing with Tangible 20 years. Phil is a genius.
There's an easy way to prove Dave right.
Get 2 or 3 other bids and then go to Tangible. They definitely pay the most.
Tangible Investments owner Sil DiGenova has become America's top dealer in coins, precious metals, jewelry, and fine art. And Sil guarantees you'll get more. Take Dave's advice.
If you want to go to the dealer's go to Tangible.
Call now for a no-obligation free professional appraisal. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you. Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/2021. Prepaid excluded. Restriction applies.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about 100% drug-free Relief Factor. I've been taking Relief Factor for years now to help me deal with pain in my body. My wife takes it as well. The reason we tell everyone we know about it is simple. We found it really works to help our bodies fight off the inflammation that causes aches and pains. Whether it's the pain of injuries you've sustained or just the natural pain from the mileage over the years, Relief Factor can help. I've never looked back. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference.
Southline weather from KFI. A wind advisory is in effect until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Gusts up to 45 miles per hour in Los Angeles and Ventura County, Santa Monica Mountains, San Fernando Valley, and Santa Clarita Valley as well. Partly cloudy this morning, then sunny in the valleys and Inland Empire. Highs in the valleys right now only in the 50s, but later in the day a warm-up to the low 70s. Highs in the Inland Empire in the upper 60s. A mix of clouds and sun in Orange County and Metro LA. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Breezy at the beaches today. Partly sunny and cool. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now it's 46 degrees in Brea, Marina Del Rey, and Lake Forest, and 45 degrees in Berkeley. We lead local lunch from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jane Yamamoto.
The following is a pre-recorded program. Over 2,000 years ago, I walked this earth. Teaching, healing, inspiring, and preparing to make the ultimate sacrifice. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. What if today you and I could talk voice to voice and you could ask me anything? You are listening to The Jesus Christ Show.
show. I am your holy host. Happy to be with you this Sunday as I'm with you every single Sunday. Right here answering your questions and talking about things that truly matter in life. And of course, the afterlife. I encourage you to be bold and brave and go to the phone with your theology questions dealing with God, religion, spirituality, worldviews, of course the Bible. Or if you're going through something in life, we call them life situations. And strangely enough, the human experience says that when things go from good to bad, the assumption is they will never go back to good. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. But I'd love to talk to you if you're going through something. The number anywhere in the U.S. today is 800-520-1534. That's 800-520-1534. So the holidays have passed. You're on the other side of that hill. And every year it seems that just about this time, right after the holidays, so many people fall into a type of sadness. Sometimes a very deep, deep sadness. This may describe you. Maybe you're just like that. Maybe you ramp up to the holidays and then fall off that emotional cliff at the very, very end, feeling kind of left absent. And a lot of this comes from really the energy of ramping up emotionally. You have all these raised expectations. They are filled with the obligations that you have, parties and gatherings and gifts and all these things. So you've got these obligations, unusual schedules. Your eating habits are strange. You're eating more. You're eating more foods that are fatty or more sweets. And everything's kind of getting twisted and turned around. And it's easy for your body just to kind of rebel and spin you into a case of these post-holiday blues. Some even deeper. Sometimes what starts as kind of this post-holiday blues becomes a very deep and sometimes dark depression. That's not obviously what the holidays are about. I don't want you to be wrapped up in something in such a way that it puts you into a spin of sadness. For some, the post-holiday blues don't tend to last very long. They come and go as you get back into a regular schedule, you have your regular habits. This cloud, this gray, dark cloud, sometimes hard to even define. So many people I've talked with will say, well, I don't know, it's sort of sad, or maybe I'm bummed the holidays are gone, but it's there. And this cloud tends to dissipate. But having this feeling of sadness isn't just tied to the holidays. It can be tied to many things. The holidays just happens to be one of those times of great change and expectations and excitement. Because you're gathering around with others and you're happy about seeing family or connecting with people, the general spirit of the time. Seasons are sort of changing and you're going into this time where it's kind of cozy and romantic. And through the entirety of that process, you can hear the clicking like on a roller coaster, clicking up that hill, click, 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 click. And then you go through the ride, and at the end there's this absence. All those things you were so excited for, those expectations about those connections and gifts, both giving, receiving, and it's gone. Unfortunately, sometimes during the holidays, the kind of postcard Norman Rockwell idea of family getting together isn't always met. That too can make you kind of look at your life situation or where you're standing and say, oh, well, I don't have this in my life, or I don't have a relationship right now, or I don't have this connection with my family, or my parents have passed on, whatever it might be, sometimes by way of comparison, you stand looking at your life around the holidays and you start to compare or contrast. And that too can leave you sad. But during this time, as you come out of the holidays, it's time for newness as well. The new year is here. You're looking at maybe climbing emotional mountains or conquering things in your life. And so it can be a time of excitement as well, but some trepidation too. And God knows that while you're in this world, you're going to face times of sadness. Not just tied to holidays, but tied to many things. You know, as often times your sadness is tied to these things, these circumstances that will change. You're hitching yourself emotionally to something that will come or go, will wax or wane. And it's easy to get distracted by the world and all these changes, and then you lose focus on what is truly important. Of course, God. So the world in all its shininess and all its bells and whistles comes cruising by, capturing your attention, and for a while, it's all you see and can think about. This can be tied to holidays, this can be tied to life situations. And in that distraction, you lose sight of God. And that can leave this emptiness, this great emptiness in your heart as well. And God knows this. God doesn't want you to get lost in all of the things that are in front of you, all the things in life that distract you. He wants you to get lost in Him. John 16:33 says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. God knows you're going to get tripped up by the things in the world. God knows that you will wrestle with them and that you will continually throughout your life be dealing with times of sadness or frustration. But a common cure for sadness is hope. We talk about hope all the time on the program because this is really at the core of the gospel, the good news, is that story of hope that keeps you pressing on, moving forward, looking towards those things that God has for you in your life, not just the things the world has for you. So hope is this amazing and wonderful thing. It can propel you, motivate you, guide you, even inspire you. But if your hope is rooted only in temporal things, as we've said many times on the program, it will only be temporary. You root your hope, you attach your hope, you focus your hope on the temporal things, the temporary things, then likewise, your hope will be temporary. So when you were approaching the holidays a few weeks ago, maybe you got excited in the hope of vacation. Maybe you got excited in the hope of seeing friends. Maybe you got excited about the hope of seeing family, of giving gifts, of receiving gifts. All of this is normal. And it's really, really wonderful. You should be hopeful in those things, but it's still all very temporal. So when the holidays pass, it's like water displacement. All of a sudden, there's this void, this emptiness that's there, where all those crazy things were. You were having longer days because maybe you were going to parties after work, maybe work was having parties. All these things, you're going shopping, you're hearing music, and people smiling, mostly, going back and forth in the hustle of it all. And then all of a sudden, it gets quiet. That day after Christmas when you turn on the radio station that you've been listening to that played Christmas music all season, and now it's back to its regular playlist. The stores, the decorations have come down. You even take the decorations down at home. And you go through all of this right about now, and there's this void. So in that void, in this emptiness, what happens? Sadness starts to creep in. Because you feel that there's something that's missing. And really, it's not missing at all. All those things can be experienced all year round. It's more that the expectations and everything that comes with it, and the change of habits and all of that comes with the holidays, is now being redirected, balanced out again. You've put your sight on all those things and maybe lost sight of the importance of just God. And now in the absence of the holidays, this void gets filled with simple, everyday sadness. You are listening to the Jesus Christ Show. To ask your question, dial 800-520-1534.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Looking to save money this year? Look at Allstate. You can get the protection you need at the low rate you want. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Before I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm John McQuillan. I was angry because my dad died when I was 17 and he left me alone. I was angry because I couldn't go to college with my friends and because I had to drop out of high school. It's not a pleasant story. But as I grew older, I also grew up. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. He left me with values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said, be on time. He didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost, but recaptured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We teach and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
It's better breakfast o'clock at Wendy's, because it all starts with a better biscuit. Get hot and buttery Wendy's breakfast biscuits made with oven-baked bacon and savory sausage, fresh cracked eggs, and cream. Don't risk your biscuits, get Wendy's instead. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. I know a series of choices. There's convictions, addictions, oatmeal. But even with opioid use disorder, you still have a choice. Choose treatment and choose Change California. Find medically proven treatment options at choosechangeca.org.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're paying too much for your wireless service. Because Pure Talk gives you the exact same 5G coverage as one of those big carriers on the exact same network, but saves the average family over $800 a year. And Pure Talk doesn't lock you into an overpriced, unlimited data contract. Why pay for data you don't need? Instead, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. And switching is so easy. You can keep your phone and keep your number, or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. So what are you waiting for? Start saving today. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say switch now, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say switch now. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from Pure Talk. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
Hey parents, have you ever wondered how to talk to your kids about the crazy things happening in the world? As great as schools can be, they often don't teach important things like hard work, how to start a business, the golden rule, or how the economy works. But kids need to learn about big ideas like these, which means it's up to you. So, how do you go about it? By telling your kids stories. And that's the power behind the beautifully illustrated Tuttle Twins books. The Tuttle Twins is a series of children's books that have sold over 2 million copies already. These books teach important ideas that teachers and textbooks don't really discuss. And they make it super easy for you to help your kids learn the values that our country was founded upon. If you want to help your kids understand how the world works,
So they can be a positive part of it, go to TuttleTwinsRadio.com to get your set of books. You'll get a 35% off discount and free activity workbooks too. That's TuttleTwinsRadio.com.
Checking KFI traffic, we do have some road work in the Long Beach area. 91 eastbound from the 720 ferry. The 4 right lanes taken away there until 9 a.m. In Encino on the 101 south out of Haskell, look out for a stall there, blocking the center lane. Then we have the work zone in Mission Hill, 405 there, 5 cents, and a mission to the 5. Looks like that connect road to the 5 north shutdown until 7 a.m. Clarifying this out. Let's get to there faster. I'm Jonathan White.
It is the Jesus Christ Show. I am your holy host. Happy to be with you this Sunday as I'm with you every single Sunday right here, answering your questions and talking about things between now and life and the afterlife. Every time of year, about this time, you come to the holidays, you've gone up that hill of excitement and all of the fun, the expectations and parties and gathering with family and friends, and you have a wonderful time. And you welcome in the new year, and all of that brings such great excitement. Family, friends, good food, a change of weather. But as it leaves, and you're looking at the newness of the new year, even in that context, sometimes you can get lost in the fact that those things have left. That a lot of the holiday spirit or ideas or things that you were enjoying are gone. And so when that happens, the holidays pass, there's this void, sadness tends to creep in. And I want you to snap out of that. I want you to look towards God, who doesn't change ever. This cycle has been around since the beginning. This sadness that will creep in during these times. Even the psalmist wrestled with sadness, obviously not because of holidays necessarily, but sought comfort in the hope of God, not the hope of things. Psalm 42:5 says, "Why, my soul, are you downcast? Why so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God, for I will yet praise him, my Savior and my God." The world and all the temporary distractions in it will compete for your attention, no doubt, daily, day in, day out, and it'll often twist your emotions up into a ball, causing confusion, maybe loss of direction, you get turned around. And this is when you should submit totally and completely to God. Proverbs 3:5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." See, if you get caught up in the things of the world, things going on in life, you get turned around, you don't know which way's up. But with God, you always do. God is a God of hope. True hope can only come from God. This hope comes from the complete trust in God and his plan for you. Romans 15:13 says, May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. Life situations will weigh on you, pull you in different directions all the time, if you feel like you're going to burst. But always remember, the greater is he who is living inside you than he who is in the world. You are listening to the Jesus Christ show. To ask your question, dial 800-520-1524. KFI News on the hour. On the half.
What's happening?
Breaks.
I'm Jane Yamamoto, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Hospitals across the country are filling up with COVID-19 patients.
New Hampshire hospitals are also feeling the effect. The state's governor deploying members of the National Guard to provide support to hospitals. Also sending in the National Guard, California. Governor Gavin Newsom activating more than 200 members to help with staffing and crowd control at testing sites.
ABC's Karina Mitchell says in New York State, elective surgeries at more than 3 dozen hospitals are temporarily on hold because of low bed capacity. COVID-19 testing and result times are increasing across the nation as more and more people want to find out if they have the Omicron variant.
People out there have to just assume, unfortunately, that they possibly have Omicron. Take the necessary steps. You can't get a test. See what you can do about trying to find a free one in your area. There are some free ones available in certain neighborhoods.
Stanford Children's Hospital Dr. Alok Patel says everyone should take precautions like wearing a KN95 mask and staying away from crowds as much as possible. Former Senator Harry Reid's funeral has taken place in Las Vegas. President Biden attending the service yesterday said Reid was his friend.
Well, I said we're a loving family. Wives are smarter and better looking than we were. And Harry and I both like to talk a lot.
Biden said if Reid gave you his word, he kept it. Biden served more than 2 decades in the Senate with Reid. Reid passed away December 28th from cancer. Vice President Harris, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, and former President Barack Obama also attended the service. An attempted murder suspect who led police on a dangerous high-speed pursuit is still nowhere to be found. The chase went from the San Fernando Valley into Hollywood back to the valley. Police backed up after the Dodge Charger hit speeds more than 100 miles per hour last night. And now taking you out to the 91 in Long Beach.
It's going to be on the eastbound side from the 710 and Cherry. 4 right lanes coned off for roadwork. It's going to go until 9 a.m. Some more roadwork in the Bellflower area. 91 eastbound from Bellflower Boulevard to the 605. The 2 left lanes shut down there until 9 a.m. And look out for a stall in the Encino area. 101 southbound of Haskell. That one is blocking the center lane. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jonathan White.
Call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain over the phone. Is it that complicated?
No, it's not. It makes no sense at all. They obviously have a price.
Whoa, you've got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the smell good plumber.
Will you tell me how much to unstop my drain?
$99.
But you haven't seen it.
Don't need to. Doesn't matter if it's a kitchen sink or a mainline sewer stoppage. The smell good plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99.
Almost?
Yeah, there are a few exceptions, but you can read all about them on our website before you call. Just go to thesmellgoodplumber.com.
Wow, you're like up front and everything. I just called a guy named Bubba who wouldn't tell me anything.
No Bubba's here, ma'am. Just professional plumbers who show up on time, smell good, and unclog drains for $99.
Call us. 1-800-446-MIKE.
Contractor license number 399170.
iHeartRadio Earth knows small changes can make a big difference. Want to reduce your food waste? Embrace your freezer. From bread to meat and even cheese, most foods can be frozen and cooked later. Plus, a full freezer uses less electricity. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
The Cedars-Sinai is right here for Los Angeles. Here if you're routinely checking out or unexpectedly dropping in. Here is a resource for today's clinical challenges and a teacher of tomorrow's physicians. Here is a neighbor to those in need and an organizer of health programs in your community. Here, we believe that people deserve to be treated like, well, people. Here, with over 250 locations in Southern California, a helping hand is well within reach. Cedars-Sinai, we're right here.
Hi, I'm Tom with Owning Mortgage. With today's rising home values and low mortgage rates, we're doing refis that let you pull out tens of thousands in cash. Use that cash to take control of high-interest credit cards, car loans, do things around the house, or anything you want.
My husband and I realized the best, low-cost way to get a large chunk of cash was to take advantage of our home's value by refinancing. Tom got us a low-interest rate, and we pulled $50,000 in cash out. We paid off high-interest credit cards and a few other things. Owning made the whole process super easy. Snap!
Owning is designed to save with great 30-year fixed rates. So call today and let us tell you how much money you may have sitting in your house. Call Owning at 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com. Your house can be like a bank.
NMLS 26 by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
So call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
When the light has come and the land is dark, the moon is the only light we've seen. So I want
It is the Jesus Christ Show. I am your holy host. Happy to be with you this Sunday. Every single Sunday right here, answering your questions and talking about the things that truly matter in life and the afterlife. Michael, welcome to the Jesus Christ Show.
Good morning, Jesus. Nice to talk to you.
It is my pleasure. How are you?
Good, good, good. Looking out the Pacific Ocean on a beautiful day here in your kingdom. It seems really sweet.
How can I help you?
Yeah, I just, I'm looking here in Matthew, and I'm in the scriptures daily, you know, very many, I would say, hours daily, and I've learned through your word and the Old Testament how to really, in the imagination and the image, to be with you, and to just how everything came about in fulfilling in you, and it's just such an amazing thing, these scriptures and how they live and are alive, and it's just something. But here in Matthew 11, and it's I'm sure you've been asked this before, where it starts with John's being Jesus' tribute to John in 11, and it talks about a man dressed in soft clothing. Behold, those who wear soft clothing. And anyway, it goes on down to 14, and it says, and if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah. Now, this is after he states that the kingdom suffers violence, and the prophet of the law prophesied until John. And then, if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah. I'm just wondering how much, if I've missed up over the years, if he talks, if this is in fact reincarnation. I know I don't see it in very many other scriptures where the physical body, you know, is again in flesh, but or is this really just a spirit thing? That, you know, the spirit of Elijah comes through John, and that I know that spirit went on a long time before you manifested into your flesh. So I'm just curious about that.
Okay, a couple of things. First, the full verse that you're referring to is, and if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah who was to come or is to come, depending on the translation.
Okay.
But so that's a qualifier that references that. Now, if you cross-reference that with